everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today is Foundation Friday and I'm going out soon, so I'm going to quickly put this on and then I'll read to you about the foundation later. But let me tell you a little bit about this. I am going to be using today, I'm just shaking it, I'm going to be using Minerals Bareskin Pure Brightening Serum Foundation. Now, this is by Minerals, and I'm first going to put on their Prime Time foundation primer. And while I'm doing that, I will tell you a little bit. So before Charlotte Tilbury and all of that, this was my daily go-to foundation. I had Estee Lauder as well, I think, but that was kind of more for going out and special things. But for my day-to-day foundation, going to work, if I wore it at work, because as I said, for a while I stopped wearing makeup at all, and then I was signed off work. But when I wore makeup, this was my go-to foundation, and that was the only one I had. And because I liked it, I tested a few along the years, but I liked it. But I haven't used this for ages. I'm hoping it's still okay, but I had a new unopened bottle of it, so I'm going to chuck the old one away, and I thought I'd test the new one. Now this is the foundation brush that it came with, which I cleaned, and you kind of dot it around. You can either put it in the middle. I've never quite worked out whether you put the serum in the middle or you put it on the outside and dot it around and then do it, but I'll just play it by ear. I think I used to put it in the middle. So I'll put the primer on. The primer is lovely. It makes your skin feel silky smooth, and it's very good if you're using the powder one as well, because it stops it sort of clumping up. And then this actually is like drops of foundation, and you basically drop it onto the brush. I'm going to do 3 drops and then we'll from there, and then you swirl it, and this colour used to be a perfect match for me. So let's see what it's like today. Very natural, but good coverage as well. Now those 3 drops have done one side of my face. I definitely recommend using a sort of smoothing primer, either this one, the Bare Minerals one, or the Daniel Sandler one that's got silicone in that sort of smooths out the skin. I'm going to put a few more drops on to do the other side, and let's see how much it covers that forehead. It's been so long since I used this. So you kind of swirl it around. I'm definitely going to build it up over the middle where I've got my hyperpigmentation, but it's not bad. And it feels like you've got absolutely nothing on the skin. So let me do make sure you shake it though, because it does separate. Now let me just try dotting this. It's been so long since I've used this that I really can't remember how I used to apply it. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's put a little bit more over that thing on my head, just to see how much I can do with just the foundation. good coverage. I'm starting to remember why I used it a lot. So look at that. I'll definitely be getting this out in the next few days. Now the shade that I'm using is Latte, which is number 11. And that's what the bottle looks like. Now, when you look at the bottle, see, don't be distracted because that looks like it's going to be a lot darker than it is. It's looking good. Now, as we're on bare skin, and what I used to do was I had their illuminating finishing powder, and I decanted it into this, and it still looks and smells fine. But I decanted it into this, which is a brush that you could just apply it on like that. I never was quite sure though whether it was actually coming out, because you can't see it coming out, but let's just see what happens. I know I haven't put my concealer on yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Still not sure if anything's coming out. But no fear, because I have some of the go on, I'll do it. Probably shouldn't, it's probably too old, but this is the illuminating finishing powder. Yeah, perfecting veil. That's what they call the finishing powder, perfecting veil. And I shall just wipe some of that over. I think that looks pretty good. And really light. It just doesn't feel like you've got anything on your face at all. I probably shouldn't have put the powder on, but I was dying to try it because I want to put some concealer on. But never mind. So I promised you that I was going to use another concealer, didn't I, today? So how about that I use the Jouer one? I'm hoping it doesn't look too bad because I'm going out, but we'll see. Let me get the Jouer one. Okay, we have the Jouer one. And I'm just going to... I keep forgetting this is really high coverage and I've probably put too much on. And it does actually, I've got the wrong colour in this. I'll have to warm it up because it looks a bit too yellow for me. But once I've got my makeup on, it will all be balanced out. That's not too bad. But it is a bit too yellow. This one is called... What's the shade? Excuse me a minute. Creme Brulee. Now, you know there's all this criticism about Huda Beauty copying Beauty Bakery for using the baking theme in their stuff. Nobody has a go at Jouer for calling theirs creme brulee. It's the same thing. Everybody's got names like that. It just doesn't make sense to me. I know one of the criticisms was about the advertising campaign that looked like it was very copied, which is fair enough. I didn't see them, so I'm not going to comment on that. And I don't like to get involved too much in all these silly little bickering things, but I did think that they were a bit unfair to Huda for saying she stole the idea of the baking theme for her powder, because it was a baking powder. It wasn't a lipstick, it wasn't an eyeshadow, it was a baking powder. And as much as I love Beauty Bakery, and I've got a couple of their lipsticks somewhere, They didn't invent baking. And I'm just going to put a little bit over that. I won't need a lot. See how it's gone a bit yellow toned? But I can balance it out by getting a warmer powder. I will just get... I've got a warm powder by MAC. So that I don't look too yellow around the eyes. I'll get that and I'll be right back. Okay, now, obviously this is a powder foundation, so I'm not going to put it over what I've done on my entire face, but just over where I've put the concealer because it's looking too yellow. And this is an NW by MAC. So NC is yellow, NW is more of a pink undertone. So if I use an NW over this, it should take the yellowness off. Let's just see. So you see, when you start to understand the undertones in products, you can balance things out. That's better. And I'll just put a little bit over where I put it on that thing on my head. See how it's taken the yellowness away? And voila. Now, because it's a powder foundation, it's made me look a bit crinkly wrinkly, but that's fine because I can use some Fix Plus. Today is all about how you can correct as you go. It's turned into a thing. Just use a little bit of Fix Plus and that will just take that off again. So I'll get that and then I'm going to get on with my makeup and I'll do a little close-up for you. Okay, so can you see how when I smile, obviously I don't go around like that all day, but can you see how it sort of accentuates my fine lines? So I'm now going to squirt myself with a bit of MAC Fix Plus and I'll come back when it's dried and you can see the difference. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, I forgot my own advice. It is slightly better now I've put the Fix Plus, as you can see. But I said to you the other day, if you're using Jouer, do not set it with powder. And I did it myself. It's just habit. I always set, you know, you just automatically set concealer with powder. And I should have just let this one dry on. This is what I don't like about Jouer. So I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually accentuating my fine lines. It's very good coverage. And I have been using it on this because it covers it really, really well. And actually, can you see where I've got these thread veins? Here. Let me just zoom in a little bit for you. So you can see the foundation as well. Foundation's looking very good. I like it. And I've remembered now why I used it a lot. Because it just doesn't feel like you've got makeup on. Now, where I've got these thread veins, I'm just going to put literally a tiny, tiny dot because it is massive coverage. This concealer is one that I would definitely use on my face. I probably would get a better colour because it is just, see, I put a tiny dot and it's just completely covered that. Okay, it would cover that. I'm not going to do that because I want you to see the foundation. So, but it's not one I want to use under my eyes because to me that just makes me look like I've got more lines. They're there, but normally with other concealers like Huda's one or Charlotte's one, there's enough moisture in it not to accentuate them. Whereas this one, I feel it does, but never mind. The rest of the face, I love the foundation. I'm going to put my makeup on because, as I say, I'm getting ready to go out. And if I talk you through my look, then I'm going to be here for hours. I'll put my foundation on, I'll come back, my makeup on, and I'll come back and I will tell you what I've applied. okay? I already know what I'm going to do. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so I'm back. I've got to quickly get going. So let me tell you what I put on. So I love this. This is me. This is like, if makeup was a statement, then this is me. So I have put on, I'm just putting my brushes away while I'm talking to you. So I've put on bronze garnet, colour chameleon, and then I put on the vintage vamp. Oh, excuse me. The vintage vamp. I put on, so I put the vintage vamp in the eyes, and then I put on some Barbarella brown, some Legendary Lashes Volume 2. I haven't done my brows. Never mind. They look okay. And what else did I do? Yeah, so that's a pop shade from Vintage Vamp. I put on the Cheek to Chic in Love is a Drug, which is part of Vintage Vamp. I put on a little bit of Beauty Light Wand. I used her bronzer from her Bronze and Glow. And I put on Savage Rose lip liner, which goes with the Vintage Vamp kit. And then over the top, I filled them in with that as well. And then I put Confident Lips over the top. And I love this look. This is me. I love it because it's me. So anyway, I will see you later. I'm going to meet my friend now and have an early lunch. And I will check in with you later. So take care. See you soon. Bye-bye. Hi everyone and welcome back. It's been 5 hours since I put this on. And to be honest, my eyes were watering outside and it's not very water resistant. I don't know if you can see this, but it's starting to pop through now. It's still, it doesn't look patchy or anything, but you can see that this, which may be a little bit about the concealer as well, because I put some concealer on, but it's also sort of starting to pop through. The concealer, it's just not good for under the eyes, and I'm not sure, given that, looking at my head, whether it's actually very good on my face for lasting a long time. It was raining outside, but I only got a bit of a drizzle to my face. My eyes were watering, but not too badly. Yeah, I don't think it's holding up too well. I think it looks lovely when it goes on. I think it's a kind of foundation that is probably one that would be good to use in the summer, because it does look lovely and natural and it doesn't feel like you've got foundation on. The other thing I've noticed is wearing this roll neck, it doesn't transfer, so it's very good for not transferring. I think if you were to use this foundation, you would need to take something like Charlotte's Retoucher around and just touch it up throughout the day. It does look very glowy and very natural, and it, as I said, really doesn't feel like you're wearing anything at all. So that's me after 5 hours. I shall keep going. I shall keep going with this concealer, but I really don't think Jouer is the one for me. I think if you don't have watery eyes and they're not very dry, then the coverage is really, really good. But I'm just thinking, you see, look, even where I put it round my nose, now my nose gets oily, it's come off. So I don't know whether that's because of the foundation it was sitting on, which it very well could be, because the foundation is a serum foundation. So maybe it just slid off. And I will try it with another foundation to make sure. It very well could be, actually, because this is a very liquid serum kind of foundation. I'm holding the wrong thing. So I will try it with another foundation before I completely disregard it. But it's not, you know, it's not looking too bad. As you can see, the eye makeup still looks fine. When my eye's been watering, a bit of the pop shade has come off that eye, which I can just transfer back. I'll just put a little bit more on. But the colour chameleon, they're great. They don't budge, and the eyeliner hasn't really budged. Perhaps a little bit in my waterline, but then with my eyes watering, I don't think that's a problem. I did have to reapply my lipstick. So today it's not really a day of lasting makeup, but I think it gives a nice look to the face. So it depends what you're looking for. Okay, I will see you back later on. I'm just going to leave this. It's feeling dry, but not so uncomfortably dry that I feel like I've got to put something on it yet. But if I do, I will let you know. Okay, I will see you later. And I've got some drugstore mascaras on Amazon next day. So I will be doing that at some point over the weekend because they've arrived. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll be back later and I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, little teaser here. I've just been trying on one of the mascaras, the drugstore ones. And I think you could see which eye I did. Obviously, that's gone over Legendary Lashes. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, because I'm going to do a whole video on it on the weekend. So, yeah. Anyway, just a little teaser for you. Pretty good, hey? I better do the other eye. Okay, before I do my conclusion, I haven't read you the spiel about this foundation. So let me read that to you. This is what it says on the website. Designed to feel weightless and look flawless, Bareskin is a powerful mineral foundation and skin brightening serum in one that is packed with natural ingredients. Enjoy the brightening power of vitamin C and the antioxidant protection of lilac plant stem cells, which help defend against environmental stresses. All of this goodness is just part of a liquid foundation that provides customizable coverage by the drop with a natural finish. Anti-aging foundation and skincare, expertly blending the science behind Bare Minerals skincare with a liquid foundation formula, Bareskin delivers a noticeably brighter, more youthful appearance. Made without oil, silicone, parabens or fragrance, the silky foundation and skin brightening serum is clinically proven to improve the appearance of dark spots and discolorations for more even-toned skin. With the added protection of non-chemical broad-spectrum SPF 20, Bareskin is also hypoallergenic, dermatologist-tested and non-comedogenic. I can't say that this time of the day. Comedogenic, meaning its tone-correcting formula won't clog your pores or cause breakouts. Okay, so I think a lot of that's true in terms of it being very weightless, and it certainly did look flawless when I put it on. But now let's get to the conclusion. Just before I stop, sorry. It comes in 20 shades. Oh my gosh, all right, and I used number 11 Bare Latte. Now to the conclusion. Hi everyone, it's been nearly 10 hours since I put this foundation on, and it's okay. The Jouer concealer under my eyes is terrible. Look at it. It's making me look like I'm about 90 years old in terms of fine lines and wrinkles, because it has completely dried out my under eyes. So I won't be using that under my eyes again. It's not too bad as an all-over concealer, but again, I don't think it's really lasted that well, to be honest. This is peeping through. This has come off. But as I said earlier, I'm not sure whether it's the foundation that it's sitting on in terms of sliding off, because I definitely don't think that's the case with under the eyes. I think it's just because it's a very drying, mattifying concealer. But as for the foundation, I can see why I used it as my everyday go-to foundation, because when you put it on, it looks beautiful on the skin and it feels like you're not wearing a lot of foundation. So it's a great one for every day. But because it's a serum foundation, serum makes it look really good on the skin, especially if you're, you know, got aging skin, because it's a serum foundation. Problem is, I think in terms of the makeup that sits on top of it, I think it doesn't hold it very well. So I think that's why the concealer has slid off a bit around my nose and it slid off around my head. I mean, sometimes foundation does wear off on my nose because my nose can get oily. But to be honest, at the moment, my nose isn't that oily. My skin's been quite dry the last couple of weeks. So I don't think that makeup sits it sits well on it in terms of it looking good when you first apply it. But I don't think it's one to use if you want one that's going to last you throughout the day without topping up. I can see myself using this and taking retoucher, Charlotte's retoucher. I think that would work beautifully. Or in the summer when you want less coverage and you're using more cream products. But I don't think that this is a winter foundation, so lesson learnt there. But when I put it on the skin, I could see why it was that I chose that foundation, because it is very, it does make the skin look beautiful. So next week, a bit of a spoiler alert, I'm going to do a foundation which is actually one that you mix with other ones to increase the coverage, because I've been meaning to do that for a while. I won't tell you what it is, but you'll probably work it out, and I'll do that next Friday. For those of you that said you really would like lower coverage but you need higher coverage, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds and it lets you kind of play a little bit more. So I will do that one next week. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I haven't touched up any of my makeup. I was tempted to touch up the eye makeup, but I left it as it was. I think it's holding up really well. I think Charlotte's Colour Chameleons always do. This one is bronze garnet. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Join me over the weekend when I will be road testing some drugstore mascaras, and I've been trying them out today. That's the only thing that I've done in terms of touching up my makeup, is my mascara, to just have a little sneaky peek at these drugstore mascaras that I got for you. So join me at the weekend and I will be showing you these mascaras and explaining why I picked them, and yeah, see what you think. All right, take care, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.